I spent the night in Socorro at the Red Roof Inn, which is one of those hotels that looks a lot nicer inside the room than it does from the outside, and also had the advantage of coffee and burrito trucks parked out front in the morning. Now that is a reasonably sized breakfast burrito. There's coffee for scale. And resupply time. Tempted to go to Dollar General just to get it over with, but there's a Walmart over here and there's a new filter calling my name. Okay, that was fairly painless. Now I just have to triage and be ready to get out of here by 11. Well, the Grand Enchantment Trail has involved a lot of 6 or 7 day food carries for me. This time I just needed a couple of days to make it to Mountain Air. Okay, I don't know that my heels are going to hold up, but I at least have some tape and some more Band-Aids and things like that, and I got enough food. The next and last town is Mountain Air, which is only in about 50 miles, so I figure even if I only get like 10 out of town today, better to get moving. And the sun is shining, but probably not for long. For a bunch of the locals, it's just monsoon season hitting early this year. My heels could probably realistically use another day, but after wasting that day in Magdalena, there's no way. Even if I only get 10 miles down the trail, better to get the heck out of here. Finally got off the main drag where it's a little quieter. I'm pretty sure I'm the last to leave town today. Snapper, mustard, and sprouts all zeroed here. So my guess is they left a little bit earlier, especially since every afternoon it seems like it rains without fail now. So now it's just a couple of days. I think it's 50 miles from Socorro to Mountain Air, where I grab my last package, and then it'll be a big carry from there to Albuquerque. Considering the mileage from here, I'd almost rather skip Mountain Air. It's a hitch. I gotta hitch into town, get the box and everything, get out. But it made more sense when I was going through Magdalena. This alt, though, does seem like it was the way to go. First off, the Magdalena mountain range was the only one that wasn't burned this entire trail. So it was great getting to stay in there a little longer. And I'm headed towards a river over here. There was a note about, oh yeah, you have to ford the Rio Grande, no big deal, in the guide. Turns out that only works in fall, basically. Again, it's my own fault. It was kind of a rushed thing to jump on this trail. But I'm glad that I happened to see a post from Jupiter talking about having to divert down to the Rio Grande alternate anyway, and wishing he'd done Socorro. Between that and talking to Sprout and Mustard, I was able to change my plans and come here right at the last minute. Jen was literally going that day to mail a box to Magdalena. Now, since I've seen both Socorro and Magdalena due to my foot issues, I have to say that between the two, I enjoyed Magdalena a little more. Socorro has everything, you know, Walmart, restaurants, etc. But a lot of rundown buildings, cars drag racing, getting chased by police right in front of the hotel half the night. Versus Magdalena was quiet, had 2 coffee shops, limited food, but enough. So it's now the 18th, assuming things go reasonably well. I should have about 10 more days. I wanted to get my laundry done here since I don't intend to stay in another hotel or anything till Albuquerque, unless it makes sense. If I get to Mountain Air at the end of the day, I may stay there. But if I can manage it, I'll just do an in and out, try and finish as quick as I can. I am now in Ultra Olympuses, which I know have worked without the toe and heel issues in the past. I'm hopeful that after a day of kind of limping along and letting the topo damage heal, this will be a little more conducive to longer days again. It took me till almost midnight to get my laundry done, since there was contention for the washer and dryer. And I wasted a little time because I went and had dinner with Snapper, Mustard, and Sprouts. But considering this is the biggest gathering of get hikers than I've seen, figured it was worth losing a little bit of sleep. Jen is furiously working on handing the van over. That should be done tomorrow. at which point she just has to finish up school and get on the road. And our life in a canoe should be kicking off. I've started to see other paddling groups on the Mississippi, and we've been getting excited. So I was asking what those black clouds of smoke that kept coming over where the hill were, and I was told it's either firefighters, mine, or military. Apparently all three are burning things and blowing things up out here. Talking with the others last night, we're all pretty much just working one stop at a time. But from all the looking ahead people have done, the only thing we can tell that should be a big concern is there's two areas with kind of aggressive landowner private property concerns. But 150 miles from this point basically means going around those and taking the alts. Though Colonel Mustard and Sprout said they went through Monticello Box Canyon despite the signed no trespassing, but court case that said you could go there, and they said they didn't have any problem in that section. I'm not too concerned, but I also don't want to trigger problems for what is a really cool trail. Plus, I haven't had anybody wave a gun at me in a couple of years, and I kind of want to keep that streak going, at least for a little longer. Damn, missed it. .130, here we go. So this is that river that you have to ford if you're on the Magdalena route. Unless you come down here where there is a bridge. Yeah, that doesn't look fordable. Apparently somebody went in up north and didn't make it very far. That just isn't even a close thing. I'm guessing it's pretty much only if you do this trail in the fall. Started seeing some dogs, so I stopped to get my trekking poles out. Well, the locals are really friendly, but their dogs do not like me. He mentioned he had run into Snapper up ahead. Storms keep rolling over off and on, and I hate stopping when I'm getting wet just for thermal reasons, so I'm having to pick my brakes here. A tiny bathtub with a view. Just slightly eroded. They got some serious erosion issues out here. It's about 7 o'clock and I'm just doing a couple of more miles till I can get water for the night. It's actually really, really pleasant out here. Right up until the point one of these random rainstorm comes across and soaks me. There have been a good number of unmarked water sources out here. I'm going to see if this has clear water accessible. So another case of a tank that just had to be turned on. Got access to a clear spout. A little bit of a tang to the water, but nothing too bad. So I'm good for the night. Even looks like there's going to be solar wells tomorrow. I was going to aim for a windmill in a couple of miles, but set up for the night, so I'll probably go another 20-30 minutes and then just look for a spot that suits my fancy. Okay, I made my way over here into a wash with at least some brush cover, and it looks like more storms are coming through, so time to get set up for the night. Okay, 18 miles for a day out of town, not too bad. Trying to make sure my tent doesn't blow away. You can see I had to reinforce all the stakes with rocks. Should be good once I'm in there. And it looks like some of these storms may be coming my way, so home sweet home for the night. Part of me was concerned with leaving town this morning, thinking that my heels may not be healed enough, but worked out. Feels so much better in these shoes. I really should have given up on the topos earlier, but I was being stubborn. I wanted shoes that would last more than, a couple hundred miles. Oh well. If my shoes can hold together and I can get another 9 or 10 days just like this, I think I can call everything good. And then head off to the Mississippi and start getting overuse injuries from my shoulders